that you don't know or you don't make sense to you? Because there's a really big one for sure. Population. What do you think population means? It says, what is the total student population at this school?
How many people in one area?
How many? Oh, that's a great definition. How many people are in one area? So we think about the population of the city as how many people live in the city. Or we think of the population of the United States, it's how many people live in the United States. So right now we're talking about the population at the school, and so that's how many students attend the school. So now, what do we do? We've read the problem. Did I read it to you? Yeah, okay.
Write the answer statement.
Write the answer statement. So write your answer statement. What's your answer statement?
The total of students at Pleasant Elementary School is blank.
So the total students at Pleasant Elementary School is blank. Somebody say something different? There's so many ways you can say these answer statements, and they're all right.
The population is blank.
The population is blank. Maybe we should add at PES. Okay? There are blank students in the whole school. And I bet you had something different.
The total population of students is...
Okay, so the total population of students is... So I'm going to go back. You have the total students at PES. I like the way you abbreviated that. Now, what are we going to do next? We need to think about the who and the what. So who are we talking about?
Students. Population.
Think about it. If you had students as the who, what would be your what?
The population.
The students' population. But what does the population really belong to?
The school.
The school. So we're going to talk about it's the schools. So PES's students, right? And what are you going to do after you write this?
Make some bar drawing.
Make the bar. Okay, so now we're ready to chunk. It says there are 27 classrooms at Pleasant Elementary School. Stop. We have 27 classrooms. Is that all of the students or some of the students? What is that?
The total number of classrooms.
It's the total number of classrooms, but our bar is about students. So those classrooms are what? There are the parts. Each classroom is like a group, right? So how do we show groups on our bar? We make boxes. So after each classroom would be a box. Now, does it make sense for me to try and draw all these little lines for 27 different classrooms?
No.
No, and so we have a special way to show this. And I know you know the answer, but we're going to hold off because what do you think it is? What do we do?
We put like dot, dot, dot.
Do you know what that dot, dot, dot is called? It has a special name. An ellipse. So how should I do this? I'm going to draw a box. What am I going to label this?
1.
I'm going to put a C for classroom 1, right? Because it's a classroom. I need to remember that that's what that is. And I'm going to have another box, and I'm going to label that classroom 2. And I'm going to have another box, and I'm going to label that classroom 3. And then we're going to put the ellipse right here. And I can draw a last box. And what classroom number am I going to name that one?
27.
27, because we have 27 classrooms. Now, why is it okay that I put this ellipse here?
Because it would take us a long time.
It would take a long time, but we we know what about each of these groups? There's 27 of them, but what makes them special, or why is it okay that each? Because what I'm saying is all this stuff in the middle means the same as this. Why is that? Catherine?
Because there's 23 students in each class.
Right. So each class is the same size. That's really important when we're multiplying. Each group has the same number in it. So I'm saying there's a bunch of groups here in the middle, and they're also all the same size. And so we're going to go on now. So we've represented our 27 classrooms, and each class has 23 students in it. Stop. Let me check up here because I dealt with that. So each class has 23 students in that. Is that all of the students or some of the students?
Some.
I have different answers here. Think about it. Be ready to defend your answer. Is there a total of 23 students in the school, or is 23 students only some of the students in the whole school? Some, because it's the number of students where?
In one classroom.
In one classroom. So where am I going to show that? In the boxes. I'm going to say in this group there are 23, and in this group there are 23, and in this group there's 23, and in this group there's 23. So I'm showing that, so I'm going to put a check up here. And so I'm to the question, what is the total student population at this school? So where's my question mark going to go?
At the end.
At the end. Because we're trying to figure out the total. We know the parts. We're trying to figure out the total. So what would my number sentence be? I just gave you the answer there. Renata.
27 times 23 equals 1.
Okay. 27 groups of 23 equals something. Okay, so here's the big test for you to figure this out. 27 times 23. Have 27 times 23. What we're going to do is called the partial product method, and it requires that we think about these numbers a little bit differently. That 27 is really equal to 20 plus 7. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if I wrote 23 in expanded form, what would it be? 20 plus 3. Because this is not really, this is a 2. But what place is it in? 10. And so its value is 20. Okay. So when we do partial products, we're going to think about multiplying this way. So I'm going to say that 3 times 7 is what? Because is that what the 3 is worth and the 7 is worth? Just 3 and 7, because it's in the what place? Ones. So what's 3 times 7? 21. So I've done this. Now I'm going to do this. What's 3 groups of 20? And if you're struggling, think what's 3 groups of 2? And that will help you. And then what's 3 groups of 20?
60.
60. So I'm going to write 60 down here. Now I'm going to multiply this times this. So what's 20 times 7? Or 20 groups of 7? Okay, it would help you think what 7 groups of 20 is. I can go back and forth with that.
140.
140, that's correct. And notice, when I'm writing these numbers, I'm making sure that I line up my ones, and my tens, and my hundreds. Because otherwise, when I start to add them together, it's going to become a mess. And so what 2 numbers have I not multiplied together yet? 20 times 20, And what is 20 groups of 20? Okay, you're struggling with this, which I've seen some of you are. This is the way I think about it. What's 2 times 2? 4. So what would 2 times 20 be?
40.
40. So what would 20 times 20 be? 400. So that's some, if I go through that progression that way, that's how I sort of keep track of that. So what's 20 times 20?
400.
400.